going on, everybody? I'm going to make this really quick. I just want to comment on what came out of the state Senate today. SB1 was discussed. It was in the committee in the judicial hearing. I heard that about 300 people came to speak or requested to speak on this bill in favor or against this bill. So I'm just going to go over some big points really quick. Now, this is unofficial. The exact title is Unofficial Copy of Senate Bill 1. And there's a few big things to take away from this. Most of us know that what it's trying to do is prevent people from carrying on any public property. And the actual term that they're using is a public conveyance. So obviously, law enforcement, correction officers, they're all exempt from this kind of thing. Security guards, they're exempt. But the first thing that I really want to talk about is the public conveyance and the definitions of it according to this bill. Public conveyance means a conveyance to which the public or a portion of the public has access to and a right to use for transportation. This includes an airplane, a vessel, a bus, a railway car, a school vehicle, a subway car or streetcar, and this is the big one, a motor vehicle required to be registered under Title 13 of the Transportation Article. So if you look up what the Maryland Code Transportation Title 13 is, it's your vehicle. It's any vehicle that requires a registration that needs 2 license plates. So that's all of our personal vehicles. That's the first big one that stands out to me, is that you cannot carry a loaded firearm in your vehicle if you have even if you have the wear and carry permit. It also includes public conveyance terminal, which is a bus station, a railway station, a subway station, and a ferry dock or station. Obviously, this isn't applied to correctional officers, police officers, armed forces of the United States of America, off-duty law enforcement, and security officers in their point of job. And if you are transporting a firearm in any of these conveyances, the firearm, even if you have a permit, this is if you have a permit, the firearm is to be unloaded and carried in an enclosed, locked case or other container. The person must have a valid permit to wear, carry, or transport a handgun. And the only way that you can justify carrying it is if you're going to organize shooting activity for educational purposes, a historical demonstration using a firearm. A person may not wear, carry, or transport a firearm on or within a public conveyance terminal, a location required to be licensed to sell or dispense alcohol or cannabis for on-site consumption, a location owned or leased by or under the control of a public or private child care center, and that's a camp for children, preschool, nursery school, and a location owned or leased under the control of the state or a political subdivision of the state, including the state capitol, government house, a courthouse, law enforcement agency, a state correctional facility, a library, a public institution of higher education, a public primary or secondary school, a rest area within the right-of-way of interstate, a private institution of higher education, a location that is open to the public or a portion of the public and is used as a park, a playground, an athletic facility, a recreational area, a theater, a stadium, a museum, a zoo, a sports arena, a concert venue, a racetrack, a fairground, a conference center, and a multi-purpose exhibition facility. And it's also excluded from nursing homes, hospitals, residential care home, and a group home. Also excluded from video lottery facilities, any polling places, which is already a law, and any shelters used by homeless individuals displaced by an emergency as defined in Article 14-101 of the Public Safety Article, victims of domestic violence or runaway youth. An electric plant or electric storage facility, the grounds of a location identified. So it just keeps going on and on and on. It's almost anywhere that people would go. Now, to get your CCW, if this bill were to pass, the applicant would have to do their full legal name, alias, date of birth, sex, address, occupation, place of business or employment, and physical description. Any other information about the applicant that the secretary determines is necessary for the applicant's eligibility for a permit. I'll spit myself a little bit. A waiver of privilege or confidentiality for records about the applicant, including health records. So if they really wanted to, they could dig into your health records. Application shall be endorsed by at least 4 individuals who are reputable or not related to the applicant by blood or law. Personally known the applicant for at least 3 years before the date that the applicant submits the application. An individual who endorses the application, and it just goes on and on and on and on. Goes over the fees. And then this is the other big one that I wanted to bring up. Subject to subsection of this section, the secretary shall issue a permit within a reasonable time to a person who the secretary finds is 21 years of age, a member of the Armed Forces of the United States or the National Guard, employed as a law enforcement officer, or at least 18 years of age and is required to wear, carry, or transport a handgun as a condition of the person's employment. The person has not been convicted of a felony or of a misdemeanor of which a sentence of imprisonment for more than 1 year has been imposed. So the legal definition of imposed is, from what I've read, I looked at a couple different definitions of it, and it seems like it's not actually you didn't serve a year. It's just that the fine or the crime could hold a year in prison. So it could be, you say years ago before marijuana got decriminalized in Maryland, you got arrested for cannabis possession, and that comes with a year fine or a year in jail. You couldn't get a carry permit, where before it was you had to be a habitual drug abuser. If convicted of a crime described in Item 1 of this item, has been pardoned or has been granted relief, have not been convicted of a crime involving the possession, use, or distribution of a controlled dangerous substance. So if you have a simple possession charge on your record for marijuana, you cannot get your carry permit anymore. Is not presently an alcoholic, addict, or habitual user, which is what it was before, and is not otherwise prohibited from possessing a firearm under state or federal law. The minimum of 16 hours instruction is still on there, so that hasn't changed. And all the things that are required for the class. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Pretty much. Oh, there's one more thing. Where was it? All these pages start to look the same after a minute. You have to get interviewed by the state police. Every single person, once this bill is passed, would have to get interviewed by the state police, on top of having your 4 references. And I can't find the exact wording right now. But that's another big thing. So you have all these places that they're saying you couldn't carry, even if you have a permit. All these reasons that you can't get a permit now, which are much more than they were before. And you have to get an interview by the state police or a member of the state police in order to get your carry permit. So it's essentially turning us back into a May issue state. Now, I personally don't see this holding up in court if it does pass. Knowing our legislature and how progressive they are, they're going to pass it, but it's going to get fought in court. So it's going to get passed, and then it's going to get brought up, and then it's going to be delayed. And so if you haven't gotten your concealed carry permit yet, I would get it as soon as possible. Get in your next class that you can get into, because the sooner you do, the better chances of you not having to deal with any of this. And what's going to end up happening is, if I had to guess, people just aren't going to comply. Even if this does pass, people that already have their concealed carry permit, they're just not going to comply. They're going to keep carrying in all the places that they have been since this fall. So, this state just never ceases to amaze me. Sometimes it's a wonder if it's even worth staying here and trying to fight for your freedom in this kind of state. But for the time being, I'm still here. I'm still going to fight. So I'll definitely keep everybody updated on this. I didn't get a chance to listen to the hearings today. I was too busy at work, so I couldn't listen. But I'll definitely keep everybody updated as this continues. The next step, let me look it up. The next step for it is, if you can't tell by my voice, I'm pretty tired. I'm ready for bed, but I really wanted to talk about this. So the next step is the second reading. They haven't updated the website to say when that's going to take place. Let me show you guys. So it's still saying the same information from yesterday. So hopefully in the next couple days, this little tracker will keep moving, and we'll know what's going on and keep updated. If you haven't already, definitely make your account, and you can sign up to get emails about when the next step is happening, what the next step is, when you can watch it, or when you can sign up for things. I'm not signed in right now, but it'll have it right about your login here when you log in, and then you can hit this little thumbtack, and it'll add it to a list. So, so keep that in mind going forward. If you haven't gotten your concealed carry permit yet, I wouldn't waste any time getting it. Go ahead and get it. Practice your Second Amendment rights. And that's all I have. I just really wanted to speak on that. I was reading through this thing before going to bed, and it's just ridiculous. If you don't follow Maryland Shall Issue, this is actually where I saw it from on Twitter, was Maryland Shall Issue. Give them a follow. They're the best advocates in the state for us. Obviously, you have Firearm Policy Coalition going on, and I'm sure they're already working on taking this to court when it does pass, because it probably will pass. and it's going to get fought in court. So just keep your eye on this and keep your friends informed, keep your family informed, just so everybody knows what's going on and the bull crap that the Maryland legislature is trying to pull. So that's all I got. Actually went longer than I wanted to, but I will I'll upload this little bitty to everything, and I'll link the unofficial copy of the Senate bill there, so you can read it yourself. And with that, everybody have a good night. I'll probably see you later this week.